Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders and closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got you guys piling into the room. We got Bill. Good morning to you. Chris, Tennessee. Last name is Tennessee. It's crazy. Just crazy. Good morning to you. We got Jay. We got Joe. JT in the house. Lenendro. Good morning to you. Lucian, Liza. Good morning. We got Marcus in the house. Good morning to Martina. Ronda's with us. Good morning to Ron. Ron signing in twice. That's double love. What is going on, Ron? We got Sean Bell. Good morning to you. Of course, we got Win in the house because all he does is win, win, win. Good morning to all my people at YouTube land. We got Daniel, Richard, Jet, Jennifer Love, lurking. Good morning to you, Michael B. All my other my lurkers in the backgrounds of YouTube. Good morning to all of you guys. Hope you guys do fantastic. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. Let's get to the market. So we got the SPY gapping up a little bit, actually a pretty decent gap. Not a horribly bearish close. So the fact that we're gapping anywhere is pretty impressive. But we're gapped up on the SPY just a little bit. Question is it enough? I've got one screen today, so I'll be going back and forth from YouTube land to TradingView, but we'll see what we can do. It's an interesting gap. It's not quite past the VPOC from yesterday, so I don't know if I trust this one in a bullish direction. So it is technically a gap and go. That's a lot of selling pressure. Big old bearish engulfing candle yesterday from the markets. I didn't think it was going to happen in one day. That's the problem is I didn't think this retest was going to happen in just one day. We did kind of come to a complete stop somewhere around 436.75-ish. Not quite there yet, but that's right at that one VPOC. Did not close the gap between August 18th and August 21st. So that gap is still open. And I'd really think at some point, if we were to go bullish at some point, we'd probably have to come in for this 435.92. We got kind of close to it, but not. We're about $1 off. We had a lot of bearish pressure yesterday. We got Jackson Hole today as well at 10:05. So I don't know what Jay Powell's going to come out. I don't know his effect on the market today, but we have to be careful of that. I don't know if I buy this gap and go today. I would like to see us rip a little bit higher, maybe back into this like 439.13, and then we start to fade back down. I'm looking for about 436 on the SPY, so that would give us a little bit more room to sell off if possible. And I could only really speak for the first 35 minutes of the market because it could get a little wild and a little choppy during Jay Powell. And again, I don't know if it is, but people will definitely be tuning into him today. And if he wants to give the market the blessing to go bullish, yeah, we could have a very different looking day today. And I don't know, but we have a lot of resistance now in the way. And if we do go bullish, I think maybe we top out maybe at 442.86 unless Jay Powell says anything crazy. But so that's my room to the high side. Otherwise, 436 to the downside. We got 35 minutes to make it work, and then we get some market manipulation from Jay Powell. So we'll see what happens there. 10:05. Yeah, he starts talking in 1 hour from now. You got 1 hour till Jay Powell comes in. That doesn't give us a lot of time to really make the trade or let it trade marinate. We might have to take something very quick out of the gate, and maybe something to the short side. We do have the Qs gapping up again a little bit, not quite as fast and furious as SPY is. So the Qs are moving a little bit different today than the SPY, which is interesting, and we'll have to figure out why. But a little bit of a gap up. Into a little bit of resistance now. If this could open just a tad higher, at open I'm looking for 363.85 to the downside. We have a lot of room to go, 356.60. So there is definitely a lot of room to the downside. Again, very bearish candle yesterday, bearish engulfing candle. I think we do get some more pressure to the downside. Just from this candle until these candles, so the candle on SPY, candle on Q start to close above it, which is a long way away. I think everything is just kind of sell the rip at this point. And Ron saying consumer sentiment at 10. DJ Rodeo Hour. Oh yeah, we go straight gunslinging today. I'm down with it. Why not? Yeah, until these candles really start to break, everything I think is going to be hitting a lot of pressure to the higher side. So I think if I can figure out how to sell the rip somewhere, that's where I'd want to be. We got Lyra in the house. Good morning, Lyra. It depends. Is he inputs or calls? That's a valid point. Valid point, Lyra. Could somebody call JP real quick? Find out if he's got more puts or calls. If you guys have any tickers, put them into the chat. We'll gladly take a look at those. We'll see if anything's moving. I do know a firm's moving. This might be my play at open. Lots of volume yesterday. They had earnings. They actually had a surprise beat, and I think they reported profit. So that might be the first time we see profit on a firm, which is interesting. I don't know, probably about two weeks ago, maybe. I said maybe we should start to look at like companies like a firm, even PayPal, a couple of those companies that SoFi maybe, where you can start to see a shift. Regional banks potentially, all of those guys with the current interest rates, the fact that they're able to sell loans to consumers and then flip it to companies that really just hold the loans, and they're making all the profits off of just getting the loans. Some of these companies might benefit from that. So we are seeing a little bit of a profit. First time that a firm has gone profitable, which is interesting. We do have a gap and go. We are above all moving averages. My only issue with this one, as much as I would love to play this one bullish, I think I have to wait for a pullback. Right now, target to the higher side is about 1494-ish. To the downside, we got about 1448. So I actually have a little bit more room to the downside than not. We haven't really broken this pivot, but I will be watching a firm pretty closely. I'm going to put that, at least for now, high on the list. I would love to see a pullback first. It's not, if we were clearing at open 1492, if we're getting anywhere above that at open, I think going along would make sense. And I think we do have a decent short float on this thing. Let me see. Invis, AFRM. Yeah, they have a 16% short float too. All right, we'll go back to this one. Somebody remind me like 4 minutes before the market opens, and maybe if there's any pre-market support resistance, something like that, that might be interesting. Wendy wants to look at NVIDIA. What a day on NVIDIA yesterday. So we are gapping down slightly, about $1.53. I don't know why I say about when it's exact pennies, but yeah, $1.53 for right now. We'll see where this thing wants to actually open. Keep in mind, earnings were great on NVIDIA. Outstanding. Honestly, I don't think the price of the stock is worth I love the company. I don't like the stock. I've said that multiple times. We gapped up. Lots of volume came in. Everybody had NVIDIA on the screen yesterday. They'll probably have it on the screen today too. See if there's any follow through. We are getting close to this. This entire thing was a retest gap. And we did a great job at retesting, almost down into the VPOC from Wednesday, which is sitting at 469.24. I think this one will get a bounce today. I would let's see where this one hit pre-market. I think there could be a little bit of a bounce in good old NVIDIA. We did get down. We actually covered after hours. We hit the VPOC from Wednesday. This could be a double bottom. I don't know if I want to be the first one to jump in, even on a short-term basis. There's a little bit of support somewhere around 468. So I think if we were to set a trade up, should go bullish. We'd have to take a stop down a little bit more probably. Stop would be somewhere here. I don't think I could really get into this trade until we start breaking this spot, maybe. And then if we start breaking down the lows from pre-market, I think then we have a lot of room to sell. But something like that gives us roughly, we can even make this one 72. So let's see, 70. That gives us an even R to play with. So now you got about a $5 stop on Nvidia if we do something like this. If we do break, I think, let me get my pen up. I think if we break, we can do something like this. Something like that. The other option we have too, if we don't want to take this as our exact entry, we could wait for the break first and then look for the bounce right at that VPOC. That might not be a bad play. But if I was to go blind on pre-market or open, something like this, I think we have a lot of room back to retest this VPOC up here. That's probably how I look to play that. That is the worst straight line, I think, in the history of drawing straight lines I've ever done. You guys are witnessing history right now. It's crazy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I think we can get bought up from here. I don't know if we go crazy bullish and we start breaking out the highs of yesterday. I think that would be insane if we do. I'm going to get this up a little bit more. Cindy K is in the house. Whew, now it's a day. It was not going to be a day before, but now it is. But that would be Nvidia. We'll see how that one wants to play out. I kind of like that setup though. There was a lot of selling yesterday. Tesla. Let's go to flip it over to the daily charts. Tiny gap up. Yeah, still inside day at the lows of yesterday. Still got some pressure ahead of this one. I wouldn't go bullish here. I don't think we have enough room to play, but 231.06, somewhere in that zone would be, I think, resistance. If we could break above it, that would get us to about 232.87. I think that's where we get met with a lot of resistance. So what I would like to see on Tesla, I don't know what happens here, but I would like to see this thing get bought up a little bit. Get bought up, maybe look for a spot to short. Risk to reward wise though, I mean, if you do like it bullish, your stop is going to be low of yesterday, somewhere around 227.92. And we'll see if that one could get bought up there. If that starts to break, you'd probably come a little bit lower. I would imagine maybe even down to like 223.73-ish. But Tesla, I think, is going to be a little bit choppy today. We'll see. If I was going to try to take any rebound, it would probably have to be Nvidia for today. We'll see. Again, I have zero clue what Jay Powell is going to say today as well. Yeah, so Marvell beat. I told you guys I had a friend. He had a plan. He had a system. It was gonna be like $80 at open today. I got some calls with him. He talked me into it. This is why you can't have friends. This is why friends are bad. Because he's like, yeah, now you got to do it. I'm like, that's a stupid play. But I'll join you because you're my friend. So those calls are going to be absolutely worthless. Today we are gapping down. It is a retest gap. We're in no man's land right now. I would think we could get bought up first, and then it'd probably be a short. So same thing. And if Nvidia gets bought up, Marvell will probably get bought up at open as well. But yeah, good earnings. They did a good job. Even conference call was good. I listened to that. Was not nothing bad, but it was pretty highly priced. And then you have Nvidia recovering from all of the gap it had yesterday, and that's not going to help anything AI. Just revenge short. Yeah, so we're in the middle of. I only put like half an hour on, so I'm not I'm not too worried. But I would like to see this one get bought up. That is a big bearish candle. Probably could get bought up at open. And then a good spot to short this one, somewhere around like 57.30, somewhere in that zone. So let's see if we can get a retest on this thing first. Jerome Powell's going to say that the banks are sound and stable. They're sound and resilient. Typically, the wording he uses. We may or may not raise rates again in the future. Yeah, probably something to the effect of that. Marvell has a little bit more room down to like 53.61, something in that zone, but that's a miniature pivot. At this point, I think this gap gets filled. And probably not today, unless Jerome Powell says the banks are not stable and resilient. But at this point, we're probably looking for like a $48 price tag on Marvell. We're well into the gap, but a little bit of a retest would do us good. And we'll see if we want to come down from there. Let me see if affirmative on affirm. Good morning from Morocco. Good morning to you. Appreciate you traveling the world to be here with us. We got KRE. KRE is going to be an interesting play today because that is regional banks. This is going to weigh heavily on JP. Take this off. Yeah. What was your thought on? For the gap fill, 46.75. If it happens, I don't think it's today. And if it is today, that will be the most bullish thing that Jerome Powell could ever say has to come out of his mouth for this to get filled today. As a swing trade, probably not yet. I don't see a full 5 wave count. I'm looking at maybe it's a crazy gap down. I don't even know. Maybe that's a 1, 2. I don't know. This is wild. I'd have to go even for right now to make this 5 wave count work. That's 1, 2. I guess that'd be 3, 4. I don't know. Maybe 5. I like the fact that we bounced off this high volume area down here. That's decent. And then this would be your ABC. On the way up, we got a lot of VPOCs pretty close to it. We got some moving averages to hold this thing down. Pretty decent gap, I will say. I mean, here's your red candle. We're not quite out of it yet. That's where all the volume came in. So I'd really want to see this thing start to break the top of that candle. That would be somewhere at. We'd have to really start breaking 44.66 for that to really pick up. Otherwise, we do have a lot of pressure to the downside. So I don't know. I don't know from here, but decent little gap. I do like the fact that we're breaking out of here. We do have that wide open gap. That'd be more of a swing trade, I think, more than anything. So somebody also said Airbnb. Not so much of a gap here. If we're looking, still inside day. So yeah, it is a little bit of a gap and go, but it's still inside day candle. That's going to make it tough. And we're relatively at the bottom portion of yesterday's candle. So resistance on this one was going to come in probably around 125.25. We have to watch that. If it does break, the next target is roughly about 125.42 in a bullish direction. So if you want to go bullish on it, you do have two little levels right ahead of you. Cause a little bit of pain and frustration, and then after that breaks, then I think we maybe come back up, test this 128.93, something like that. Otherwise, for right now, it does look a little bit more bearish. That is another bearish engulfing candle. We came back down. We broke through a whole heck of a lot of VPOCs. Saving grace on this one. So if you want to short it, you're really looking for probably somewhere around 124.11 to hold. So I don't know if I would play Airbnb. I just don't really have a good edge on it today. LW says future rate increases will have to be data dependent. Yeah. He's going to say that. I don't even know how much more data dependent he's actually going to be. Truthfully speaking, I mean, to some extent, yes, but he's looking for the inflation numbers to come in. So he's looking for inflation to continue down. I think at this point, the longer he can hold the rates where they're at, there's not going to be any rate cuts, rate hikes, pause, and nothing like that today. So again, Jackson Hole is going to be a very interesting topic because we're gonna hear some of his thoughts, but there's no policy really being pushed today. I don't think so. Politically dependent, yeah, yeah. You do have the race for the White House still on the table. Well, that's the whole speech, so we can skip it and move on. The problem, though, Lucian, is the market won't skip it and move on. I would love to just be like, yeah, let's just ignore the whole speech and just go figure it out. But yeah, I don't have anything yet. Let me check YouTube. Any other tickers that you guys want to look at? Otherwise, we'll run through the market, see if anything else is moving. There was one other one. What was it though? Ryan wants to take a look at AI. One can dream. I wish you would just be like, no, you know what? I'm gonna take the day off today. Can Jerome Powell have a sick day? That's what I would do if I was Jerome Powell. I'd have a sick day. AI is gonna be a tough one again. So it is. You have a little bit of support. You got a nice bounce off a moving average yesterday. This it looks like downward pressure still. I can't for right now. I can't shake that candle. That's the problem with a lot of these anything AI. No matter how good the support might be, and there is a little bit of support. So I can get a fib on here. We're at the 618. My numbers are not to the penny, but we're at the 618 zone. This looks like a head and shoulders. Does not look like it really came back. It did kind of. Yeah, hold on a second. Here would be your neckline. So this is probably your neckline. So that gap up was an attempt into it. This is actually your retest into the neckline. This gap up was the retest. I think we get more bearish pressure, to be honest. But you are at a 618. So if there's any bulls out there that want to buy AI, it's not a bad location. It's good risk to reward down here. That's a tough candle to go bullish on. This is a little tiny wick at the bottom, not a big one whatsoever. Big, massive, bearish engulfing candle covering 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially 5 days of activity. Closed pretty weak. I still think there's some selling pressure. I don't know, but you are at the 618, so watch that one. Man, that's tough. Lucia's gonna trade on Hopium and Dreams today. I like it. Could you imagine the chaos if that happened? If Jerome Powell called in sick, no, they'd probably get him chicken noodle soup. Probably. I don't know. I'd feel bad for Jay Powell. He gives it his best college try. He's doing good. The market wouldn't be scared at all. In fact, that would probably be a bullish sign, and market would rip higher because the market is sound and resilient. Roku, nothing crazy. Oh, Netflix was the other one. Netflix was getting a little attention today. It's a decent gap up here. We got a $5 gap. That was the one that I wanted to look at as well. We are actually above yesterday's VPOC. Is there news on this one? Another upgrade. Okay. They're coming out with another Addams Family show. Netflix shares rose around, I don't know, that probably will, they will. I don't know. That's probably not true. Shares rose around 0.5% in pre-market trading on Friday as investment firm Loop Capital, the media and entertainment giant stock upgrading. So they got a little bit of an upgrade. Let's see, do they have a price target? Raised guidance boosted the price target to 500 from 425, and we're sitting at almost $100 higher. All right, we could look at this one throughout the day. Again, Still looks the only thing I like on this one is we actually I haven't seen any stocks yet at least break the VPOC from yesterday. On this one, we are sitting at a higher VPOC. We're higher than the VPOC, so we're at a good spot. They have positive news. I would imagine first target on this one's 419.47. If we get back up there, that's probably the resistance that comes in. But okay, we're gonna keep this one high on the list as well. We'll see where this one wants to go. I got really Affirm and Netflix are the two that I would be watching for. And Carry looks decent too. Let me get that one higher on the list. KRE. I'll get that one up there too, since we looked at it. It's gonna. I think a lot of things are gonna have some pressure, especially early morning. You only have 35 minutes really to be comfortable, whatever that means in the market. And then you got Jerome Powell speaking, so we'll see how things want to set up. But either way, I think it's gonna be a fun day. Nothing else from YouTube land. Nothing else from the chat. Wow, we are slow today. Not a whole heck of a lot of gaps. So what the question is, what is the sentiment today? Bearish engulfing candles everywhere from yesterday. Waiting on Jerome Powell to speak. Tesla, I think we looked at that one. We can look at it again. A little bit of a gap down on Tesla by 3 cents for right now, at least. Google to the downside. So if we can start breaking a little bit, we got 128.95. It gives us a little room before support comes in. Still well in chop area, but what I would like to see again is even pre-market below yesterday's candle. Actually, that one's a little different than a lot of these other ones that are gapping up. I don't really have. I was going to say decent risk reward if this candle breaks, it's over, and it's already breaking. So we might see some more continued selling there. I would love to see a little bit of a buy into like 130.83 for short, but yeah, on Google. Yep. Yeah, I didn't pull up Tesla yet. I'll do it now, Cindy. I'll do it now. Oh, patience is a virtue. It's a virtue. We got 1 minute. I said warn me when we had 3 or 4. Tesla, it does have a gap up. So again, you're gonna hit resistance on the way up, probably 232.95 is the first target. But again, you are above the VPOC. So this one and I think Netflix are the two to watch. But time is ticking, unfortunately. Firm. What was the one we tried to map out real quick? Was it Nvidia? I think it was. So Nvidia would have been a wick in at this point. So we could probably move our entries down if we do want to play it at this point. And that'd be a 471.25. Stops would remain the same, gives us a little bit better risk reward. That's how I probably have to play this one. But everybody in YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, but fortunately, the market is about to start. And I have to disconnect. You guys are incredible. Make sure you guys check out reallifetrading.com. You guys, we do trade from like 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. at night. That was crazy hours. But you guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys next week.